There's a growing wave of speculation surrounding the Kansas City Chiefs right now, not just from fans, but also from inside the locker room, on the practice field, and even in discussions with the media. And while the team is entering a quieter phase with the long break between minicamp and training camp, what's happening behind the scenes at OTAs is telling us a lot more than most people realize. I'll give you all the details, so be sure to hit that like button to stay informed. Let's go! Several players are already dealing with injuries, some with histories that may raise eyebrows. But we're also seeing the emergence of surprising names, the changing dynamics of position competition, and yes, even some unwarranted skepticism directed at one of the team's all-time greats, Travis Kelce. Let's start right at the heart of this offseason narrative. The Kansas City Chiefs are in the thick of Phase 3 of OTAs, with the third round wrapping up this week. Media availability has revealed more than expected, and we're just days away from mandatory minicamp, which kicks off on June 17th and runs through the 19th. After that, we'll hit a 6-week news drought before training camp fires up, most likely around Sunday, July 20th, based on prior years. Now, these padless practices might favor offensive skill players, but they've still provided enough glimpses to ignite some major conversations. Rookie cornerback Noah Williams, for instance, had a rough day recently, something that could make fans nervous. But keep this in mind, even defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo and DB's coach Dave Merritt called it nothing to stress over. Growing pains are expected, especially in the secondary where defenders are playing at a disadvantage without contact. Williams still managed to haul in an interception despite the struggles, and he's shown enough promise to stay on everyone's radar. He was brought in to reinforce a cornerback room that's in flux. With L'Jarius Sneed now traded to the Titans, and Jalen Watson recovering from a broken ankle suffered early last season, depth is more crucial than ever. That's why signing Christian Fulton to a 2-year deal and drafting Noah Williams were such high-priority moves. But Fulton's injury history is something we can't ignore. He didn't participate in team drills during the last 2 open practices, and while that might be precautionary, the fact that he's dealt with recurring hamstring and groin issues in the past 2 seasons is concerning. The coaching staff is clearly hoping Fulton can adapt quickly, because Trent McDuffie is expected to play more inside, only once the outside roles are locked down with confidence. Spags mentioned they'll move McDuffie inside when the room is ready. Translation: if Fulton and Williams prove reliable, McDuffie's role will shift for the better. And just like that, the injury narrative extends to the offensive line. Both starting tackles, Jawan Taylor and newly signed Jalen Moore, are nursing ailments. Taylor has been rehabbing a knee injury confirmed by Brett Veach during the draft period, while Moore is recovering from a quad injury that landed him on IR late last season. Even rookie Josh Simmons, recovering from a major knee injury last year, is still ramping up but is ahead of schedule. Add to that the unknown status of Ethan Driscoll, who hasn't been seen at OTAs, and it's easy to feel some unease about protection depth. If these issues linger into camp, we could see major shuffling in the trenches. Meanwhile, the tight end room is becoming one of the most captivating position groups on the team, not just because of who's in it, but because of the noise outside of it. And yes, I'm talking about the wave of Travis Kelce disrespect that's been surfacing online, including from some Chiefs fans. You heard that right. Despite everything he's done, everything he still does, there are hot takes saying he's on the decline, and even suggesting Noah Gray is the better tight end right now. Now look, Noah Gray deserves his flowers. He caught 40 passes on 49 targets for 437 yards and 5 touchdowns last season, tying with DeAndre Hopkins, mind you. He had 0 drops. He was 6 for 6 on contested catches. And he only played 58% of offensive snaps. That's efficiency. That's reliability. And yes, that's impressive. But the idea that Gray is now better than Kelce? Let's pause. Kelce, even at 35 going on 36, played 82% of offensive snaps. He was still 3rd in receptions, 4th in total yards, and 6th in YAC among all tight ends. That's not washed up, that's elite. He may not be putting up 1,300-yard seasons anymore, but he's still a top 5 tight end, especially when you consider the unique chemistry he shares with Mahomes and his ability to dominate against zone coverage. Add in reports that he's lost 25 pounds and is approaching this season with more hunger than ever. I wouldn't bet against him. What's more, the Chiefs don't even use Gray and Kelce the same way. Kelce spent 42% of his snaps in the slot and 23% out wide, acting more like a WR1 than a traditional tight end. Gray, on the other hand, was used inline nearly 60% of the time. They're complementary, not comparable. And let's not forget, sometimes, Gray is only open because Kelce draws so much defensive attention. This narrative about Kelce being second fiddle to Gray isn't based on football reality, it's based on off-season noise. But the tight end room isn't just about Kelce and Gray. Eyes are also on Jared Wiley, who's still rehabbing from an ACL tear and could start the season on the PUP list. That opens the door for someone like Jake Brindingstall, the undrafted free agent from Clemson. He's turned heads in OTAs already, even making a leaping scene catch last week that might have been the play of the day. He profiles more as a receiving tight end and has steadily improved every season at Clemson. His competition? 31-year-old Robert Tonyan. If Wiley starts slow and the Chiefs lean toward versatility over blocking, Brindingstall could be a dark horse to make the roster. And all of this brings us full circle, back to the heart of the Chiefs' offense, back to the legends still proving they've got more to give, and back to the young players pushing them every day. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole Travis Kelce versus Noah Gray debate. Are fans jumping the gun with the Kelce decline narrative? Or do you think there's real reason to believe a new era is coming at tight end for the Chiefs? And while the Travis Kelce conversation might be dominating the headlines, what's happening behind the scenes across this roster tells an even deeper story of a team preparing to defend its crown amid uncertainty, transition, and opportunity. Let's talk about depth, especially in the areas that don't get enough spotlight. The Chiefs' secondary, despite losing a cornerstone like L'Jarius Sneed, might actually end up more versatile. Christian Fulton, if healthy, offers physicality on the outside. Jalen Watson, once fully recovered, can be trusted in tight matchups. And McDuffie? His ability to shift inside adds a dimension few teams can replicate. If rookie Noel Williams settles into his role, this unit could quietly become one of the more feared DB groups in the league. The offensive line, though? That's where the real tension lies. Chiefs Kingdom knows just how vital pass protection is, especially with Patrick Mahomes behind center. With multiple tackles nursing injuries, Jawan Taylor, Jalen Moore, Josh Simmons, Ethan Driscoll, it's not just about who starts week 1. It's about who can survive the grind of a full season. Training camp could bring surprises, and we may see fresh faces rising quicker than expected. And circling back to tight ends, while Gray continues to ascend and Brindingstall may sneak into the 53-man roster, the truth remains, this room still runs through Kelce. Maybe 2025 will be his last ride. Maybe not. But he's clearly not ready to hand over the torch just yet. His presence in big moments, in the playoffs, in Mahomes' trust? That's irreplaceable. So Chiefs Kingdom, your turn. How do you feel about the shifting depth across this roster? Is Travis Kelce still that guy, or are we entering a new era? Sound off in the comments, smash that like button if you're hyped for another Super Bowl run, and don't forget to subscribe for more insider updates straight from Kansas City. Go Chiefs!